Hi, this is Lady T, the business coach for moms. I am today in Long Island, New York, where today I spoke to 48 women on the topic of building your credibility and respect there in the workplace. Communicating in such a way that people deem you as credible and authoritative. I spoke to managers and leaders and supervisors. Yesterday, I was in New York City, New York, and I spoke on the same topic. And there I had 186 women, 186 women, New York women, who were frustrated. 186 New York City women who were fed up with the politics there in the workplace, who were ticked off and frustrated by the pettiness, by the people, by the problems. And they had come to the seminar with plans to have Lady T, 186 of them, have Lady T solve their particular problem. And one of the things that I reminded them right up front was that we all have a choice. We have a choice about who we're going to be when we're in an environment that we don't like. We have a choice about who we're going to be when we're in an environment that doesn't serve us. You always have a choice. Choice number one is if you choose to stay, that's the first choice, stay. If you choose to stay, what type of woman are you going to be while you're there? Are you going to be the type of woman who is frustrated and so upset that you go home and complain and whine to your partner, to your spouse ad nauseum about the problems there in the workplace? Are you going to be that woman who is constantly complaining and constantly upset? Are you going to be the woman who has physical problems because you are so stressed out? Or are you going to choose, if you stay, choose to be a woman who is the role model there at the workplace? Choose to be the woman who does things differently. While everyone else is backstabbing and everyone else is working against each other, are you going to be the kind woman? Are you going to be the woman who speaks up anyhow? Are you going to be the woman who commands respect just by your presence? And if you choose to be that type of woman, then learn how to be that woman fully and wholeheartedly. Be the role model if you choose to stay. That would be my suggestion. Our choice number two is we can choose to leave. You don't have to stay in that environment. You don't have to stay in the city that you're in. I know a lot of people think they don't have a choice. This is where I was born and raised, and therefore this is where I'm going to stay. You know, you can always change, and that's what we forget. We forget that we have choices. I chose to move away from my hometown. Once I left to go to school full time, I could have easily have gone back, but I chose to stay away because I recognized, once I moved away, I recognized the stress and the constant pumping of adrenaline when I was in the environment of a big city. I love Chicago, still love it today, but I chose to move away from that. And once we started having children, I definitely decided I did not want to go back. That was not the place to raise children. We could have easily have gone to the other side of the big city where my husband is from and went to LA, but we decided not to go there. The assistant that was with me yesterday, who is studying city planning, he said that one of the things that he learned is that 80% of New Yorkers cannot afford to be there. 80%. Can you imagine the stress of 80% of the city that cannot afford to be there, but they're still there? You can feel the tension there. You can see it in everyone's faces. Everyone that I spoke to, the guy who parked my car, the taxi cab driver, the people at the front desk. You know, I always ask questions everywhere I go. And I would ask questions. So what is it like to be a cab driver in New York? And where have you been a cab driver before? What is it like to park cars, to be the valet parker here in the big city like New York? I would ask questions, and every last one of them, without fail, went into the horrors of the job, the cities, the stress. These were professional people. They weren't just complainers. It's just the stress that people are under is so thick that you can actually cut it with a knife. You can feel it. You can choose to walk away from that environment. You truly, truly can. And so the question becomes, are you going to be the type of woman who lives in a city that keeps you stressed out, that keeps your children stressed out? Are you going to be the type of woman who goes into the workplace even though you prefer to be at home? I talk to women all the time who say, I'm tired of it all. My children are being raised by someone else. I don't want to be here anymore. You can choose differently from yourself. You know my philosophy. Run your own business, raise your own children. My philosophy is you should take care of your values first. And if you value your children more than you do growing someone else's business, figure out a way to start your own. If you have to do a multi-level marketing business, as you figure out your own. Do that. Work something and figure out how to work part-time. Figure out how to lower your expenses so that you can do the thing that you say is most important to you. I could have easily have gone back to work, but I knew that when I went back to work, not only was I going to work hard because that's just my work ethic, not only was I going to become the leader in the workplace because I have leadership skills, I also knew that I was going to be the top dog because I'm just that competitive. I know that when I go into a workplace and I say I'm going to be the manager because I have managerial experience, skills, education, I knew that when I did that, I was going to work. Deal with, at one point, my husband was only making $8 an hour for a number of years. I chose to stay home. Years later, my oldest is 20. I have no regrets about that. Now, there are times when I go, I should have been working on my Social Security. I should have been trying to build my... I do have those thoughts, but I also know that I really can't complain. It really, truly is. At this point, it has been great and wonderful, and it's the right decision. It was a choice that I made at a very early stage. So the question is, who are you going to be while you're in that environment? The question is, what kind of woman are you going to be as you deal with the people and the problems? What kind of situations are you going to set up for yourself? That is your question, and you get to decide every day. This is Lady T. I hope this has served you and helped you out, as it has so many women there in my seminars. I hope this has helped you. I'm going to have to go because I have bugs attacking me. I have to get out of here. But remember, an empowered mom affects generations. Always, always empower yourself.